Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hello and welcome once again to Quick Shot Reviews. I'm your host, the Reverend Luke Edwards, and we're going to be looking at Scream 2 today. Having done the Scream, I'm not going to call it Scream 1, I refuse, having done the Scream review not so long ago. This movie only came out a year after Scream in 1997. I thought it was a bit later on than that, but it wasn't. Wes Craven directs again, and it is based on characters devised by Kevin Williamson, who incidentally, Cotton Weary, if you've not seen Scream 1, I won't spoil it for you. The character called Cotton Weary, he is in this film quite a lot actually. It's quite integral to the plot. Kevin Williamson actually plays Cotton Weary's interviewer in this film. Bit of random trivia there for you. This movie is a sequel. It's going to be a little bit worse, maybe a lot worse. Not a lot worse. It's certainly very enjoyable. It's not as good as Scream. Got a 6.2 ran on IMDb, so currently it's 6.2 on IMDb. I think this sequel is pretty damn good as far as horror sequels go, and it stars the same people: Nev Campbell playing Sydney, Courtney Cox playing Gail, David Arquette playing Deputy Dewey. Lord knows, he must have like more lives than a cat. And Jamie Kennedy reprises his role as Randy. They were the only survivors, of course, from Scream. Spoiler. Don't watch this if... Well, it's too late now, isn't it? Oh well. Timothy Oliphant is in this film as well. He plays Mickey. Laurie Metcalf, quite some quite accomplished actors and actresses, plays Debbie Salt. Jerry O'Driscoll plays Derek, the love interest of Sydney in this one when she's at college. Dwayne Martin plays Joel, single-handedly one of the funniest characters I've seen in a horror movie for quite some time. Roger Jackson again reprises his role as the iconic phone voice. Do you want to die tonight? Jada Pinkett Smith, as she is now, it's changed the writing on me again. Stupid iPad. As plays Maureen. She's in the opening scene, and her boyfriend Omar Epps, Philip Stevens. Heather Graham is also in this film. This gets more meta than the first one because there's a horror film of a horror film being shown in the next horror film, because the movie Stab is based on Scream and the events therein. Heather Graham plays Casey in the Stab movie that is in the Scream 2 movie. Yes. Elise Neal plays Haley. She's Sydney's best friend. Leif Schreiber is Cotton Weary, reprising his role there. Very small role in the first one. Sarah Michelle Gellar, height of her fame here, 1997, playing Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and would later star in I Know What You Did Last Summer, also a very good film. I need to watch that as well. She plays Cece, which is a play on the name Casey. So there you go. That's that one, isn't it? Joshua Jackson is in this film, and he is billed as the film class guy. Yeah, he doesn't have a big role. but he was bigger this time as well. So the film takes place 2 years after the events of the first movie, and Sydney is now at college. She's got a new fella. Randy's there with her doing film studies, obviously, because it's Randy. Yeah, they start getting stalked by a killer. Killer on campus. There's, they go after all these other people as well, and not just them. Students are being picked off randomly, as it were. Gail Weathers has come to interview Sydney, come to report on it. She's written a bestseller called The Woodsboro Murders, which has been turned into a film called Stab. So that is the basics. Tori Spelling plays Sydney, and that is even more meta within meta within meta, because there's a joke in the first one where Sydney Prescott says, "No, my luck, they'll cast Tori Spelling," and so they did. I wonder if she says that in the Stab movie. That'd be interesting. So everything begins anew. Dewey arrives to talk to Sydney, try and unravel things. His surrogate sister, obviously on the chopping block, and it is, it's really good. There's one really good scene, very strong scene, which involves Randy and it being outdoors, and in Scream it was all very tight. There was nothing done outside. It was all done within houses. It was very claustrophobic. This one seems much bigger, and this one seems, the kills are more elaborate. Brings us to the first rule of surviving a sequel. The body count is always higher, the blood is always bigger, and there's more of it, and thicker, and all that kind of stuff. Rules to survive. Death scenes are always more elaborate, so to speak. Randy does start to describe the third one, but gets cut off halfway through, and interestingly, before he gets interrupted, there's a bit of an in-joke with the crew, in fact, because horror franchises very rarely survive. Horror franchises very rarely get better with age, and I think that was one of those things. Good thing about Scream is they did, after the first 2 films, they did leave another 3 years, and then they left another 11 years in between 3 and 4. So it brought it to a new audience, and I think number 4 did a really good job of bringing it to a new audience. New rules, and don't ever assume that the killer is dead, because we learned that in the first one. And there you go. Yeah, so that's a deliberate joke. What am I going to give this film? I haven't given it a rating on my little write-up here, so I'm going to give this a thunderclap, because there's a scene with some staging and some thunderclaps. So I'm going to give this a thunderclap randomly out of a dead guy in a news van. Yeah, there you go. Come up with that one. I quite enjoyed this one. I always did enjoy Scream 2. It's not anywhere near Scream 1, and by Scream 3 it really starts going downhill at that point, so I wouldn't recommend that one. But there you go. That is Scream 3. This has been Quick Shot Reviews. They seem to be getting a lot longer as I'm going along. But when I really enjoy a film, I like to show it off and talk about it quite a lot. Incidentally, I'm going to be doing a podcast with Mike Eyre, my good buddy Mike, during the COVID-19 outbreak, talking in depth about Scream and Scream 2. Whether we watch Scream 3 first before and we talk about all 3 of them, I don't know whether that's going to happen. but it'll probably already be published by the time this goes up on YouTube. So if you like the video, click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. You can join us on all of your social media channels. And I will see you next time, Cheap Shot Nation. I've been your host, the Reverend Luke Edwards. This has been Scream 2. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Hiya.